Welcome to the Behind the Board on Production Techniques, where we talk about lead guitar. This is a pretty fun one. This is how you can make your mix sound really exciting by adding in a few elements throughout it to fill up that left speaker room that I left open on this song, and to lift choruses, or bridges, or even intros if you have a big intro. So let's talk about the verse first. So when we came into the verse, we had the drums come down, they're dropping to a closed hi-hat. We're getting through our verse. We have the left guitar coming out, the right guitar staying in. The bass is going to be riding on the same stuff the whole time. So we need to make a change. You know, if the drums change halfway through or the bass pattern changed halfway through or something, this might not be necessary to bring in a lead guitar part. But we needed to fill up some space, keep the listener interested, keep the song moving. So we dropped down to just right guitar for half of the verse, and halfway through we brought in some noise. This is just guitar raking. Take a little listen to what's going on that track. I'm going to solo it out. Here it is. So yeah, you'd think, do I want this on my record? Probably not, but take a listen to how it fits in the mix. This is going to go ahead and build this quite a bit. So that's a pretty big actual lift because we're filling up that left speaker room with this guitar rakes part. So you could do that. You could do an actual lead. You could bring something in. I suggest when you bring something in, it's fairly repetitive. You don't want someone soloing over a verse where someone's singing as well. You'll basically have two parts singing. The listener doesn't know where to put his ear, but if he has a repetitive lead part, maybe it's 5 different notes that he keeps on playing over and over in a different pattern, that can be fantastic as well. So when we move over to the pre-chorus, we have a pretty light pre-chorus, so I didn't want to get too big, kind of just doubled up the guitar again on this other track here. You take a listen to what happens there. It'll fill in the left speaker with a nice football chord, I like to call them. It's basically means whole note, but I use it to mean where the changes are when I'm talking to artists usually. So they'll go ahead and just hit this chord and let it ring, let it die down, cool the song off. Perfect. So that's what you want to do on pre-chorus, especially if it's light. You want to get some sort of build in there anyway. You want to start filling up space. And you want to be able to hit them hard with the chorus. One of the reasons I chose this song was we did something out of the ordinary and crashed our way into the chorus. Before we even got there, we were really big. And we were still able to lift the chorus because we had 2 separate leads doing that. Not something you'll always do. It's actually technically 3 separate leads doing that. But these saxes kind of play a chord together. They play a 2-note thing that really sounds terrific, and we mix it that way. But you have 3 more instruments coming in and filling up space. So we got away with this big crash section into it. This would be a rule for me. I wouldn't want to go crashing in a pre-chorus like crazy before we hit a chorus because it builds too much. But we're able to skirt around that. So take a listen about this crashing around. Let me unmute this sax for you too. Let's take a listen about this crashing in the pre-chorus, and we'll still see the chorus lift up because of what we have in here. So we're still bigger. And this is what I mean by a lead that doesn't move too much. It's something I like to call a passing tone. It's something that is very repetitive, a bit in the background, but brings the guitars up a bit. So this guitar lead right over here does that. Take a quick listen to what it's doing, this same part over and over. So not the most fun thing in the world, but it does lift the guitars up because we had 2 guitars going on right here in the pre-chorus. Now we have 2 guitars going on as well, but this third one is going to lift us up right up the middle. And what we did on this is we panned it pretty much to the middle. I don't like to pan directly to the middle because that's where the vocals are sitting. I don't really want to sit on top of the vocals. They're the star of the show in almost all records, so I don't like to pan it directly to the middle. So leads even on a chorus where I'm bringing things more centered and on the lead parts I want to go ahead and pan it a bit. And the reason that this guitar is more centered is because we already have guitar right, we have guitar left. This one, in order to keep things balanced, we need to put pretty much up the middle. Next, I have two saxophones going ahead and playing together. Pretty nice sounding little pad. Yes, so we got some live saxophone also filling up that area. And I didn't want to go real far out because these things are kind of affecting each other. If I pan real hard left, real hard right, you might not feel it as much as like a chord. So I wanted the chord to be really relevant and kind of in your face. It's nice. It's only a 2-note chord, but it really does add to the part. So that's how we were able to build that chorus, even though we crashed our way into it, which is a big no-no. So you can break any rule you want, really. You just got to make sure that you did everything you can to make it work. So if that means doing lead guitar and 2 saxophones, plus bringing in the left guitar to make it more massive than it is, that's what you do. So thanks for being with me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one.